What's the secret of people who don't just survive but actually thrive in their 20s? It's not luck, it's not money, and it's definitely not having everything figured out. Their secret is something you can't see but changes everything: the mental operating system they're running. And here's the mind-blowing contradiction. While everyone tells you to follow your passion and live in the moment, people who actually grow in their 20s do the exact opposite. They treat this decade like a skill factory, not a playground. I know. This goes against everything you've heard. But if you're still here, it's because part of you already knows there's something wrong with conventional advice, right? Look, I'm going to be straight with you. If you're watching this video, you've probably felt that suffocating feeling of being lost in your 20s. Maybe you see your friends posting on LinkedIn about that promotion, or on Instagram with that new car, or talking about how they found their calling while you're still stuck in the same job you hate, and you ask yourself, dude, what am I doing wrong? Or maybe you're jumping from job to job, relationship to relationship, always thinking the next thing is going to be the one. And deep down, really deep down, you have that silent fear that you're wasting the best years of your life. The painful truth: you're not alone. Recent studies show 75% of young people between 25 and 29 report feeling anxious about the future, and 68% say they feel pressured to have it all figured out. But here's what gets me fired up about these numbers. Society has programmed you to feel this way on purpose. Think about it. Every movie, every TV show, every Instagram story tells you that your 20s should be this magical time where everything falls into place. Where you meet your soulmate at a coffee shop, where your dream job finds you, where success just happens because you're young and full of potential. It's all garbage. The entertainment industry sells you this fantasy because confusion keeps you consuming. When you don't know what you're doing, you keep scrolling, keep watching, keep buying courses that promise to unlock your true potential. It's a billion-dollar industry built on your confusion. But here's what nobody tells you. That feeling of being lost isn't a bug, it's a feature. And people who understand this are the ones who get ahead while everyone else is still trying to find themselves at 29. Here's my promise to you for the next few minutes. I'm gonna show you how to completely reprogram your mental operating system for your 20s. I'm not talking about positive thinking or empty motivational quotes that make you feel good for 5 minutes and then leave you exactly where you started. I'm talking about a fundamental shift in how you see this decade. A shift that will make you stop wasting time trying to find yourself and start building yourself systematically and intentionally. Because here's the harsh reality. While you're busy finding yourself, someone else is busy building themselves. And in 10 years, guess who's going to be ahead? Because I'm going to tell you something that might sound harsh but will set you free. Your 20s are not for discovering who you are. Your 20s are for deciding who you're going to become. And there's a massive difference between these two mindsets. One mindset makes you a passenger in your own life, waiting for some cosmic revelation to strike you. The other makes you the driver, making deliberate choices that compound over time. One leaves you at 30 wondering where the time went. The other puts you at 30 dominating your field. And look, you don't need to panic thinking you have to define your entire life right now. You can always reinvent yourself, always change direction, always start over. Life isn't a straight line, and anyone who tells you it is has never actually lived. But here's the point that's going to change everything for you. Why not start having small wins early? Why not collect some victories while you still have time and energy to experiment? Why not build momentum instead of just hoping things work out? Because here's what most people don't realize. Logically, you can have significant successes or even major achievements already in your 20s. The only thing stopping you is the voice in your head saying, "You're too young," or "You need more experience." That voice isn't wisdom, it's fear disguised as prudence. When you understand this, and more importantly, when you apply this, you're going to look back in a few years and thank yourself for watching this video to the end. You're going to see all your friends still stuck in the same patterns, still making the same excuses, while you're out there actually living the life they're dreaming about. Alright, here's how we're going to break this down. I'm going to show you 4 mindset shifts that separate those who thrive from those who just survive in their 20s. These aren't feel-good platitudes. These are battle-tested strategies that work in the real world. The first thing you need to stop doing is chasing passion. Seriously, forget that crap. Instead, you're going to learn how to build real competence and why that's the actual path to fulfillment. Then, I'm going to show you why embracing discomfort is literally your superpower in this decade and why everyone runs from it like it's gonna kill them. Spoiler alert, it won't kill you, but avoiding it will kill your potential. We're also going to talk about networking, but not that superficial stuff everyone does where they hand out business cards like they're playing poker. I'm going to teach you the difference between collecting contacts and building relationships that actually move the needle in your life. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to use time as a powerful lever instead of using your age as an excuse to do nothing. Because time is the one asset you can never get back, and most people are throwing it away like it's unlimited. Each of these shifts is going to challenge something you were probably taught by well-meaning people who never actually succeeded at what they're teaching you. But trust the process. In the end, you'll have a clear roadmap of how to transform your 20s from a confusing decade into a defining decade. Everyone tells you follow your passion. But what if you don't know what your passion is? What if you're one of those people who has tried everything and nothing really clicks? Or worse, what if your passion doesn't pay the bills and you're tired of eating ramen every night? Let me tell you about Mike. At 23, Mike was following his passion for music. He was playing gigs at local bars, writing songs that nobody wanted to hear, and convincing himself that he was living his truth. 3 years later, he was broke, frustrated and living on his parents' couch, watching his college friends buy houses while he couldn't even afford his own apartment. Today, at 30, Mike is one of the most sought-after music producers in the country. He works with artists you've definitely heard on the radio. He owns a studio, drives the car he always wanted, and guess what? He's more passionate about music now than he ever was when he was following his passion. What changed? He stopped chasing passion and started building competence. Here's the game changer that's gonna blow your mind. Passion is a consequence of competence, not the other way around. When you get really good at something, when you truly master a skill, passion shows up naturally. It's what neuroscience calls the fluency effect. Our brains are literally wired to like what we do well. Think about it. Do you think LeBron James was passionate about basketball when he was getting destroyed by older kids on the playground? Or did passion come after he got good enough to dominate? Do you think Elon Musk was passionate about rockets when he knew nothing about aerospace engineering? Or did that passion develop as he learned how to actually build them? Stanford University studies show that people who focus on developing specific skills in their early career years are 340% more likely to report job satisfaction at 35, compared to those who followed their passion from the start. Let that sink in. While everyone else is chasing butterflies, you could be building the skills that will make you indispensable. But here's where it gets even better. When you focus on competence first, you don't just get good at one thing. You learn how to get good at anything. You develop what I call learning velocity, the ability to acquire new skills faster than other people. And in a world that's changing as fast as ours, that's literally a superpower. So stop waiting for passion to strike you like lightning. Pick a skill that matters in the real world, something that solves real problems for real people, and get obsessed with mastering it. The passion will follow, and so will the money. We live in a culture that sells comfort as life's goal. Delivery apps so you never have to talk to another human being. Infinite entertainment so you never have to be alone with your thoughts. Instant validation on social media so you never have to face the reality of who you actually are. Everything conspires to keep you in your comfort zone. And here's the sick part. They're doing it on purpose. Because comfortable people are predictable consumers. Comfortable people don't start companies that disrupt industries. Comfortable people don't write books that change minds. Comfortable people don't build anything that matters. You know the story of the Navy SEAL who became an ultramarathoner and then CEO of a billion-dollar company? David Goggins was 24 when he weighed 300 pounds and worked as a pest exterminator. People made fun of him. He hated his life. He was going nowhere fast. The difference between 24-year-old David and today's David? He learned to embrace discomfort like a drug. While everyone else was avoiding pain, he was running toward it. While everyone else was making excuses, he was doing things that scared him. Here's what most people don't understand. Your 20s are the time of greatest neuroplasticity in your adult life. Your brain will never be as capable of forming new connections as it is right now. But this plasticity is only activated through discomfort. Every time you do something that takes you out of your comfort zone, you're literally rewiring your brain for a more capable version of yourself. It's like going to the gym for your mind. The muscle only grows when you stress it. The brain only evolves when you challenge it. But most people treat their minds like fragile flowers that need to be protected from any disturbance. Harvard Business School research reveals that professionals who deliberately put themselves in uncomfortable situations, taking on new responsibilities, moving to new cities, learning difficult skills, in their 20s have 78% higher income growth in the following decade. Not 7%, not 17%, but 78%. That's not a coincidence. So, what does this look like practically? It means saying yes to the project that scares you. It means moving to the city where you don't know anyone. It means starting the business even though you don't have all the answers. It means having the difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. Because here's what happens when you make friends with discomfort. Everything else becomes easy. Job interviews become casual conversations. Public speaking becomes natural. Taking risks becomes routine. You become the person who thrives where others merely survive. Everyone talks about networking, but most people do it completely wrong. They treat relationships like Pokemon cards. Gotta catch 'em all, but never actually do anything meaningful with them. They go to networking events, collect business cards, connect on LinkedIn, and then wonder why nothing happens. I met a 26-year-old guy at a conference last year. This dude had 2,000 LinkedIn connections, attended every networking event in the city, had a stack of business cards thicker than a phone book, but had been unemployed for 8 months. He was doing everything the networking gurus told him to do, but nothing was working. Meanwhile, a friend of mine with only 50 real connections got 3 job offers in the same period. The difference. She understood that relationships are built through value, not cards. She understood that people don't care how many people you know. They care about what problems you can solve. Real social capital isn't about how many people you know, it's about how many people trust you to solve important problems. In your 20s, focus on becoming the person who always delivers, who always adds value, who always makes other people's lives easier. Be the connector, not just the connected. Here's how this looks in practice. Instead of asking, "What can you do for me?" start asking, "What can I do for you?" Instead of pitching your services to everyone you meet, start solving problems for people before they even ask. Instead of collecting contacts, start building trust. When someone in your network has a problem, be the first person they think of. When someone needs a recommendation, be the person whose opinion they value. When someone needs help, be the person who shows up without being asked. Data from recruiting firm Korn Ferry shows that 85% of high-level positions are never publicly advertised. They're filled through referrals from people who have real social capital, not superficial connections. These are the opportunities that change lives, and they're invisible to people who think networking is about collecting business cards. But here's the deeper truth about relationships. They're not just about career advancement. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. And in your 20s, when you're still figuring out who you are, the people you surround yourself with will shape who you become. So choose wisely. Spend time with people who challenge you, not people who validate your limitations. Hang out with people who are building something, not people who are just consuming. Surround yourself with people who make you want to level up, not people who make you comfortable staying where you are. Most people treat time as an excuse. I'm too young. I don't have enough experience. I still have time to figure it out. This is victim thinking disguised as wisdom. It's a way to justify inaction by making it sound like strategy. You know how old Mark Cuban was when he sold his first company for $6 million? 31. Jeff Bezos when he founded Amazon? 30. Sarah Blakely when she created Spanx? 29. These weren't child prodigies or trust fund babies. They were regular people who understood something that most people do not. That your 20s are not for preparing for real life. They are real life. Stop using your age as an excuse and start using it as leverage. You have energy you won't have at 40. You can pull all-nighters and bounce back the next day. You can live on pizza and ambition. You have fewer responsibilities than you'll have at 35. No mortgage, no kids, no aging parents to worry about. You have less fear of failure because you have more time to recover from mistakes. This isn't time to find yourself while everyone else is building their future. This is time to accelerate while you have the least to lose and the most to gain. Warren Buffett made 99% of his fortune after 50. But here's what most people miss. He started investing at 11 years old. The power of compound interest doesn't just apply to money, it applies to skills, relationships, and experiences. Every year you delay starting something important, you lose decades of competitive advantage. Because here's how compound growth really works. The person who starts building their career at 22 doesn't just have a one-year head start over the person who starts at 23. By the time they're both 35, that 1 year is compounded into a massive gap in experience, connections, and opportunities. The skill you learn today becomes the foundation for the skill you learn next year. The relationship you build now becomes the source of the opportunity you get later. The reputation you establish in your 20s follows you for the rest of your career. So stop treating your 20s like a dress rehearsal for your real life. Stop saying you'll start taking things seriously when you're older. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to begin. The time is now, not when you feel ready. Not when you have more experience. Not when the conditions are perfect. Look at what we covered here and see how it all connects. First, you understood that competence generates passion, not the other way around. This means you stop chasing butterflies and start building skills that matter. Second, you discovered that discomfort is the fuel of neurological growth. This means you stop avoiding challenges and start seeking them out like they're gonna make you rich. Because they will. Third, you learned that real social capital is built through value, not business cards. This means you stop collecting contacts and start solving problems for people who matter. And fourth, you saw that time is leverage, not an excuse. This means you stop using your age as a reason to wait and start using it as a reason to accelerate. But here's the connection that ties it all together and changes everything. When you combine these four mindsets, you stop living reactively and start living strategically. You stop being a tourist in your own 20s, just wandering around hoping something good happens. You become the architect of your own life, making deliberate choices that compound over time. You stop asking, "What should I do with my life?" and start asking, "What kind of person do I want to become?" You stop looking for your purpose and start building your capabilities. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. That is the difference between people who reach 30 still lost and confused and people who reach 30 dominating their field. It's not luck, it's not privilege, it's not being born with some special talent. It's simply running a different mental operating system while everyone else is still running on the default settings. Most people sleepwalk through their 20s and then wake up at 30 wondering where the time went. Don't be most people. While they're trying to find themselves, you're gonna build yourself. While they're waiting for passion to strike, you're gonna develop competence. While they're avoiding discomfort, you're gonna embrace it. While they're collecting contacts, you're gonna create value. While they're using time as an excuse, you're gonna use it as leverage. Your 20s aren't just another decade. They're the foundation for everything that comes after. The habits you build now, the skills you develop now, the relationships you form now, the mindset you adopt now. All of this determines whether you spend the rest of your life playing catch-up or playing from ahead. So here's my challenge to you. Stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your future. Stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating better conditions. Stop making excuses and start making progress. Because 10 years from now, you're going to be 10 years older regardless. The only question is, are you going to be 10 years wiser, stronger, and more capable? Or are you going to be the same person you are today, just with more gray hair and more regrets? The choice is yours. But remember, your 20s aren't for finding yourself. They're for building yourself. And now you have the map to do it right.